Good morning, folks. We made it through Monday. That was, it was a Monday. It was crappy, like they all are. So, people are sometimes, I don't know, they're just so confused. I don't understand. I just don't understand people sometimes. Driving in here, I almost hit one, but two people pushing their bikes. Now, I used to ride bikes when I was a kid. I loved it. You know, and walking was kind of cool. But I don't understand a guy pushing his bike. He's confused. What are you pushing your bike? Are you biking today or are you walking today? And they're on back roads where you do 55 miles an hour and you have your back to your traffic. You know, your bike is on the one side of the white line. You're actually on the road. And that's what that white line does. It designates the shoulder and the road. So you're walking your bike, you're gonna die. You're not even gonna enjoy the pleasures of riding your bike when you die, and you're gonna ruin a good bike. So I just don't get it. I mean, aren't there paths where you can ride these bikes? Or I don't know, I guess maybe walk your bike. Is that a thing? Walking your bike? It takes the same amount of energy to walk as it is to pedal, and you're going to get a lot further. I'm trying to understand it. I can't, but I saw two this morning. Just shaking my head. I mean, they could be dead right now. So I just don't get it. You're on a death wish. It's a lot of infractions there and a lot of confusion. They're mixing, you know, business with pleasure. These roadways they're for business. They're for cars and trucks and trailers and people going to and from. I mean, I guess if you got a DWI, you got to ride your bike, but if you're pushing it, you're going to be late. So make up your mind, man. And those paths are much prettier. I don't get it, but I see it a lot. So maybe you guys know why people push bikes. Today we are in beautiful Tuxedo Park. You folks out there seem to like every time I go in there. Today we have a particular customer who we took out a 550. We installed two, I think 330s or two 275s manifold together. So when I walked into the garage, I immediately said to myself, oh, they should be in the back of the garage and we should stack them. He don't want that. I don't want that. He wants them along the side, and we put bollards in because that's what it requires. If in a garage the tanks are in a direct path of a vehicle, you got to put up protective bollards. So we did that. End of the day, the inspector passed everything, walked out. He goes, hey, take those bollards out. I mean, he just paid like $1,500 for them. He goes, no, I don't want them. You just take them out. So I took them out. And he still paid me for that. So now a year later, he says, you know what, Brian? As sarcastic as you were right. The tank should be stacked in the back. Can you move them for me? Okay, we'll come back and move them for you. I gave him a pretty good price for me. And he said, okay, let's move them. So that's what we're doing today. We're taking two tanks that are full of oil. We're going to empty them, move them, reinstall them, put the fuel back in, and fire it up. Crazy day so far. You think Craig knows about guys pushing bicycles? Hey, I know his father-in-law, Pete, he's a big bicycler. I wonder if Pete's ever pushed his bike. And we picked up a tandem bike. And I rode it once with my wife. I swear to God, I don't think she turned the pedal one time. I should have just put foot pegs on it for her because she didn't do any work. So I said, you know what, I'm done with this tandem thing. So I gave it to Pete and Tracy. So let me just ask. Hey, Craig, I have a question that I'm trying to get an answer for. You know, you were a little sassy yesterday with the camera.
Yeah.
How come? Do you want to succeed on YouTube? You want to be rich?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So on the way in today, huh? What?
I want to make bank, bro.
Oh, paper. So I saw two people today pushing their bicycles. What's the story on that?
Broke down?
No, their wheels were turning fine.
Chain?
No, everything was fine. The bike was mechanically perfect condition, but they were both pushing it. Don't you see that often?
Yeah.
You've never seen a person pushing their bicycle?
Maybe up a mountain, but I don't even know.
Oh, okay. Well, why are you doing that though? I can't understand it.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Are you going for a walk or are you going for a bike ride? They're confused, people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just saw two, and they were both in the middle of the road. They almost got hit. So, us folks, we're all trying to figure that out. They're confused, people.
All right.
Craig looks a little tired right now. I caught him early. So, we're going to hook up the Silverado. That's all we need today. I also have two site inspections to look at. I'm going to take you on both. Put on that stupid necklace GoPro. And but I'm going to Mount Vernon. Gentleman has an underground 2,000 gallon tank. That's a regulated tank. He was notified by the state he's got to upgrade his anode bags. These are bags which attract the acid from the ground to the bags to minimize or slow down the corrosion. I said, let's just deregulate it. Let's get rid of that 2,000. Let me install a couple other tanks above ground. He said, hey, that's a good idea. Why don't you come look? So sometime during today's project, I will break out and take you along with me. We'll go to Mount Vernon and do that site inspection. I am scheduled to get rid of this and put our new logo on, and I'm changing that a little bit too. I'm excited about it. Will it help business? Probably not. Probably not, because I still got haters that don't like it, but that's just how it is. You get those haters. Everywhere there's haters, people that don't want you to succeed. All right, I'm rambling again. We'll see you out in Tuxedo Park. And we have arrived on site. Now he's pulling out, right? Go find out what he's doing, Sam. Interact with the camera. And action. And I said,
Sam, give me a sign.
Sam, let's blow something up. I wonder how that conversation's going.
There you go.
What are you doing? We gotta get in here. No, we can't move. We're staying right where we are. Oh, here he comes. Shaking his head. Body language tells it all. Hold on. What'd he say? We have to pull out. Take two. Keep it going, keep it going. I mean, I've seen better. Let's see if you can pull it in the garage. That'll work. Well, at least the car's out of the way. Is this guy kidding me? Is this guy kidding me? Hey. How much product's in it?
Couldn't read any more empty.
Oh yeah? Well, that's a blessing.
Just watch the other end of it. Should.
Craig's just removing the fill. We're going to use that same fill.
Oh yeah.
And we're not going to use the same vent, are we? We are. We're just going to pipe it over to it. All right, so they're just going to dismantle all this. This tank probably has about, I'm going to say 50, 75 gallons in the tube. Shut off those firematics at the bottom down there. And then we'll disconnect those.
You know why they're doing this?
Room.
Why?
Why?
Because he wants to park his Rolls Royce and Ferrari in here.
Rolls Royce and?
Ferrari.
Ferrari, gotcha.
He can't get
Must be nice,
he
huh?
can't get the Ferrari in because of the tanks.
His plan.
Okay. I feel like I undercharged then.
That's what I said. Too late. So you might have.
Yeah. Ah, well. Okay, I mean, at that point in time, why don't you just get a new garage? I mean, the construction here, we did this job about 2 years ago. That's pretty good. That's apparently for the hot tub, of course. Gotta have one of them. Nice. Very nice. Alright, we're taking all the fittings off. And he is just going to stack them this way. Just like that. I'm honestly heartbroken that these tanks were used like for storage and laying shit on them. Oh, pardon my language. Go ahead.
Oh, man.
We're gonna clean these up more. We're gonna retouch up any of these pipes that are oxidizing. There were a couple.
Ready?
So, with every design, there's always gonna be a flaw. So here's the flaw. Do you know how I always explain about the seam having to be on the outside for the warranty to be good? Well, because our crossover comes from our drain plug, which will only be this side, which has to connect to that, which means it has to be on this side. Because servicing this crossover is more important than seeing one seam, or actually two seams. because this is the only way that you'll be able to shut the tanks off individually, be able to service and inspect the firematic valve, and be able to drain water from the tanks. So you combine all that, that's much more important than just seeing a seam. So this is the only time you'll ever see us not have a seam on the outside.
Wrench jammer.
Because I think that supersedes seeing the seam. Right, Craig? So all these legs all got to be readjusted. Pipe's got to get re-cleaned. That's a good pitch right there for the fill. We got some cleaner. Looks like I'm in Craig's way. That's perfect. That's perfect. Don't touch it.
I have to. Gotta push this to the wall. Mikey!
I got it.
It's... No, this.
Alright, so Mikey just re-doped that now. Craig will tighten it. We've got to go back outside here, because we have to make sure that when it ends up tightened, the 90 degrees is coming straight up. Right there. Probably got to go to this one, Bri. Stop! Craig, what are the issues?
We're just seeing what's going where, and I want this to hit perfectly.
Right.
Without having to take it out of the wall.
So the whole reconfigurement of on what we did prior to with the top's changing.
The whole thing's changing.
Okay. And you want the rocket and the...
The gauge is gonna go here.
Okay. So that'll be the furthest point.
The gauge is gonna go here.
That'll
The
be...
gauge is gonna be inside, all the way to the right.
Well, then that's gonna be down there then.
Yeah. Yes, the gauge is going over here.
Right. And the return and suction.
Rocket, that will go here. Crossover's going here.
So we're gonna have to extend our return and suction line.
I'm not.
And the crossover for the two tanks is right here, and then that one you just put in?
Yep.
On the end?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
I mean, this should work. Where's this piece? Right here?
Why, what, by leaving it?
Yeah, it should be the same height.
It should be, but it certainly doesn't look like it.
It was just, well, these are all unscrewed.
Oh, okay. Alright, work in progress.
Jammer, if this copper falls, can you grab it? Ready? More.
So I just asked the children, what can I do to be better? Mike, Sam, nothing?
No answer.
So I'm perfect then.
Perfect.
I knew that. I knew that. Let's see what Craig says. Craig, what can I do to be better?
You?
Yeah.
Stop being so mean all the time.
Me? No, seriously. Because Sam, every time you ask him something, it's no. So
That's just his nature.
I know, right? So let's change, Sam. So we'll make you do a change, and then what can I do? And I'm not calling myself daddy. Your father. What can your father do to be better? And I'll work on it.
Have a little more patience.
Patience with just you or everything?
In general.
Okay.
Just in general at the site. Patience.
All right. I didn't know that was a freaking problem.
See? See what I mean?
Okay, so I'm going to be more patient. It's not a problem. I raised 4 kids.
Imagine you ask them and we all say the same thing.
Well, I asked them. They said nothing.
Why make me look bad?
Hey, Craig said I need to be a little more patient. Wow, you answered pretty quick there.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, Sam.
I mean, I think everybody needs to be a little bit more patient. That's a normal thing to be.
Thank you, Michael.
No problem.
That's why you're my favorite son.
I do that.
Sam, do I need to be more patient?
No comment.
Okay, all right. I am going to be more patient. I feel good about today already.
He's gonna cut the camera. Hurry up!
All right, so the boys are reinstalling the crossover. When the oil man fills from this tank will fill up to capacity. As it's filling up, it'll also begin to cross over on the bottom. But once it gets to 100% capacity, it then blows over to the second tank to help assisting fill. That's why then when the burner kicks on from the suction line, it draws from this tank, but it actually draws equally down from the two. So when you manifold two tanks together, it actually becomes one singular unit. So we are measuring now, that's 13.
I need 13 3/4.
13 3/4. So when he measures, he pulls the tape. He pulls it from the inside thread to the inside thread.
That's if Sammy's perfect on his job.
13 1/8. 12 15ths.
1/8.
11 1/4. 9 3/8.
I don't even know what it was.
I know, that's why I did it.
13 3/4.
Thank you.
12 1/2. All right, so Sammy's hey, what was the measurement on that, Sam?
13 3/4.
13 3/4. I thought it was 13 1/2.
No.
No? All right. So it's already measured, cut, and threaded to one side. Now he'll set the threads on there. It actually threads itself. Pretty cool. How'd that come out, Sam?
All right.
Let's look at it. Very nice. So, we've been through a lot of threaders in 27 years. And we've even had the nicest ones, the rigids. Nothing but problems with regards to lasting, having to get teeth. The whole teeth, I think that's the same thing that's involved with these hitches that break after a year, or your phone wire that breaks after a year. The teeth wear out on those rigids. This thing is 1,200 bucks. And I'm gonna say we've had that about 7 years.
Yeah.
Not a problem. I think that's actually the original teeth also. So it's not always about what you pay.
I don't care.
Got Craig working on that crossover.
I'm waiting till he's...
We are going to fire the burner now. Can't believe that burner services. Oh, there you go. Beautiful. We're good. Okay, these are completed, painted. So we're gonna put the dirt back on that. I'll go show you inside. So this was for it's actually reading fuel. That was for the old underground. Oh, the copper is taken out. We should snag that. We should ask him. So Sam, do you know what that is?
No.
Craig, what's it called?
Petrometer.
Petrometer. And how does that work?
There's a copper line that drops into the tank with, when you pump it, it pressurizes to a point where it tells you where it
Right, and it's got
level
it's
is.
got mercury in there. That helps tell you the amount of fuel based on the per square inch pressure. I think. Okay, so we've got to go to Mount Vernon or Yonkers, I'm not sure. So we got to get out of here. But that's the finished product there, almost. Sammy's patching that. Then Mikey will get the cleaner out. And he'll clean that all up and then spot paint anything that needs to be done. There you have it, folks.